We live in interesting times. Hello, I'm Giancarlo Matera with the top news stories this week from the United Kingdom. The UK's main political parties suffer huge losses in local election as part of Brexit backlash. The US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo warns the UK over China's involvement in the new 5G internet network. And Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, introduce their baby boy. And in sports, Liverpool and Tottenham reached the Champions League final. Britain's two main parties suffered huge losses in English local elections as voters vented their frustration with the prolonged Brexit deadlock. Prime Minister Theresa May's governing Conservatives lost control of several local authorities and hundreds of seats, but the main opposition Labour Party also lost ground, with voters instead turning to smaller parties and the independents. Prime Minister Theresa May said there was a simple message from yesterday's elections to both of us and the Labour Party. Just get on and deliver Brexit.
What is momentous and historic is seldom simple and straightforward. But I think there was a simple message from yesterday's elections to both us and the Labour Party. Just get on and deliver Brexit.
Britain's bitterly divided MPs have been unable to agree on a divorce deal with the EU, with the two main parties in talks on breaking the deadlock having produced little progress so far. The results do not bode well for the Conservatives and Labour Party ahead of the European Parliament elections set to take place in Britain on May 23. After voting in June 2016 to leave the European Union, Britain was meant to depart on March 29 this year. However, its exit date has been postponed until October 31 due to the disputes. With more than half the English councils having declared results Friday, the centralist Liberal Democrats and left-wing Green Party, both anti-Brexit, made gains, along with independent candidates.
I've always voted Conservative, but not anymore. We all voted for Brexit, and they've done everything to try and get out of it. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, there's not one of them that I could trust to vote for.
Of course, we wanted to do better, said the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, adding that he was very sorry for the party's losses. Some of the people were probably disagreeing with both parties on attitudes towards the European Union.
The way the things are going at the moment with Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn, it's sort of, they're fighting one another, and because they're fighting one another and they don't know what they're doing, that's basically just changed my mind on, they're supposed to be trying to run the country, but not doing a very good job at it at the moment, I don't think so.
He added, "We're the only party that seeks to appeal to people, whoever they voted in 2016. Voters went to the polls in many rural and suburban areas of England, with more than 8,000 seats up for grabs. All 11 local authorities in Northern Ireland were also contested. The ruling Conservative Party is also mired in a scandal over the leaking of news that Huawei was to build part of the country's 5G network, leading to the sacking of Defence Minister Gavin Williamson. However, left-wing Labour also lost ground. Labour MP Owen Smith, who tried to oust leader Jeremy Corbyn in 2016, said the party's Brexit fudge was under melting pressure from the public gaze.
Very, very disappointed. I mean, the country voted to come out, and that meant out. It didn't mean make deals and partly come out and partly stay in. It meant that we wanted to come out.
The Labour Party is also losing support over the issue of anti-Semitism, which flared again this week when emerged leader Corbyn had written the foreword to a book containing what the party called offensive references. The council elections decided who sets local tax rates and runs the community services, but are often swayed by the national picture. The Green Party appeared to have been boosted by the recent climate protests in London, which brought environmental issues to the front pages. Liberal Democrat leader Vince Cable said voters no longer have confidence in the Conservatives and Labour Party. The problems for the two main parties could worsen at the European elections when they will also face two newly formed forces, the Brexit Party, which leads in the opinion polls, and the pro-EU centralist Change UK. The local election results could sharpen minds on resolving Brexit. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo urged Britain Wednesday to be cautious about China's role in its 5G network.
Ask yourself this: would the Iron Lady be silent when China violates the sovereignty of nations through corruption and coercion? Would she have welcomed the Belt and Road Initiative without demanding absolute transparency and the highest standards? Would she allow China to control the Internet of the future?
In a joint press conference with Hunt, US President Donald Trump's top diplomat said that they had discussed at some length the importance of a secure 5G network. The United States has an obligation to ensure that places where we will operate, places where American information is, and places where our national security is at risk, that they have to operate inside the trusted networks, and that they will always do so. The US has banned government agencies from buying equipment from Chinese firm Huawei over fears Beijing could spy on communications and gain access to critical infrastructure. A leak from Britain's National Security Council last month suggested the government in London is planning a limited role for Huawei in its 5G network, but Hunt insisted no decision had been taken, adding that Britain would never take a decision that compromised its ability to share intelligence with its close allies. Pompeo urged Britain to be vigilant and vocal against the host of Chinese activities that undermine the sovereignty of all nations. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle, introduced their newborn baby boy to the media at Windsor Castle. Delighted Britons dusted off their Union Jack costumes after Prince Harry and Meghan welcomed the royal family's first known mixed-race child.
He looks absolutely adorable. He's like a little doll, isn't he? I mean, Catherine had babies in the £8 odd. He's only £7 odd, so he's quite tiny. But what a little sweetheart, and what proud parents he's got. Harry hasn't come back down to earth, I don't think, yet. He's absolutely besotted, isn't he?
Ending days of suspense, a visibly relieved Harry, 34, announced Monday the arrival of the couple's firstborn, a son who will be 7th in line to the long line of the British throne. It was a rare piece of good news for a nation exhausted by endless fights over Brexit, a chance to celebrate royal tradition, this time with a young American twist. Prince Charles, on a visit to Germany, said he was obviously delighted and impatient to see his 4th grandchild. The heir to the British throne, speaking in German, said he would see the baby in the coming days, when things were a little calmer. Back in Britain, curiosity mounted about the newest member of the royal family. Meghan Markle, a 37-year-old former TV star who studied in the suburbs of Chicago and has an African-American mother, has created a fresh buzz around the century-old House of Windsor. The American Duchess made waves by closing her own car door, a task usually performed by royal aides. The couple announced the birth of the 7-pound, 3-ounce baby to their 6.5 followers on Instagram. Perhaps most notably, Meghan decided to ignore past practices by keeping the birth private and well away from the prying media's eyes. Harry's brother William, 2 years his senior and with 3 kids of his own, warned the happy couple that they were in for some long nights. He said he's very pleased and glad to welcome his brother to the sleep deprivation society that is parenting. Although the couple received congratulations from former US First Lady Michelle Obama, the White House remained silent, sparking speculation that Trump was still smarting over not being invited to the wedding. Meghan's estranged father, Thomas, did not attend either, creating a lingering scandal. The newborn baby would bring the entire family's happiness and joy, and they can even bring broken families back together again.
Now, everyone says that babies change so much over 2 weeks. We're basically sort of monitoring how the changing process happens over this next month, really. But his looks are changing every single day. Wow. So who knows?
It's magic. It's pretty amazing, and I mean, I have the 2 best guys in the world, so I'm really happy.
here in the northwest of England in Manchester, catching up with a large group of eager audience in the Regent Cinema watching Guerrero by EBC Films.
I've been invited by a really good friend of mine. We've known each other for such a long time. And she says this is an interesting film, and I said this might be really interesting. After she showed me the trailer, I thought it was going to be a real tearjerker, so I'm really down for a good tearjerker, so I went with it to watch the movie here.
From Laughable. What are you here for?
To watch the Guerrero movie.
Are you excited? How excited?
Very excited.
And what did you watch this evening?
I watched the film Guerrero.
It was really inspiring, really good film. About, it was mainly a love story. There's a lot of comedy in it, and it was a really good film.
I found the film very spiritual, in a sense of like, in life we shouldn't stay down, where we should always get back up whenever life gives us a hardship or any challenges, and there's always God there behind us to back us up in our plans. Miguel's my favorite character. He's such a positive vibe, he's a ball of energy, and I love people like that.
I thought it was brilliant. It was subtitled, but I managed to keep up with the subtitles. There's a whole different emotions and stuff, and I just wanted to cry and laugh, and there was just two brothers that are like close to that, and it was brilliant. It's the families and that are related to it, the emotions, and I just enjoyed it.
It was funny to start with, then it got sad, and then it got even better still. To be honest, I liked it from start to finish. I thought it was 100% brilliant.
There's a part 2? Yes, definitely. Definitely.
From another Guerrero knockout showing here in Manchester, I am Mark Nieto, reporting for Eagle News, United Kingdom, and I am one with 25.
From the Guerrero movie showing here in Manchester, United Kingdom, we are one with 25!
To know that we're helping others is very fulfilling. Charitable works also strengthen our personal values. We even teach our children the value of sharing and giving, so that they can grow up with a greater appreciation of everything around them. The members of the Iglesia ni Cristo in Leeds are doing their share of giving by donating toys, children's books and clothes to their local charity Martin House Children's Hospice.
So my name is Brandy Nayak. I work at Martin House Children's Hospice, and we look after children that have a life-limiting condition from North, East and West Yorkshire. We look after children that have a condition that means that they are potentially not going to have the same quality of life, the same things that we would want for all of our children when they're born. So it's very much about the present, about the here and the now. And what we do at Martin House is make sure that our families live the fullest life with as much fun, as much rest for the parents, and as many memories that we can create as possible. Oh, the turnout has been phenomenal today. I didn't realise initially that this church actually existed, so be able to meet and become acquainted with so many different people here has been truly wonderful, because without the support of people like this church, without the individuals that go out and volunteer for us, that will raise money for us, Martin House can't offer the care and support to the children that they need. So it's been phenomenal.
Today we're going to be donating toys, so we could give toys to people who need stuff to read and learn. You should give them to the others because the others might not have any toys. I want to help them giving books to make them learn, like math, English, and other type of subjects so they could learn. I feel good about it because we're helping other children.
Reporting from Leeds for EBC London Bureau, I'm Grace Rivera and I'm 1 with 25.
In sports news, this year's European Football Showcase event, the UEFA Champions League final, will be an all-English affair. For the first time since 2008, when Manchester United defeated Chelsea in Moscow, Russia, the Premier League has returned to dominate Europe's premier football competition. In the first semi-final, Liverpool were trailing Spanish champions Barcelona 3-0 after the first game in Spain. But in a magical night back in England, the young Liverpool team, led by German coach Jurgen Klopp, produced the biggest comeback in Champions League semi-final history by overcoming the first game deficit, beating Barcelona 4-0.
And I said to the boys before the game, I don't think it's possible, but because it's you, I think we have a chance. Because they are really mentality giants, it's unbelievable.
Then, in the second semi-final, Tottenham Hotspurs defeated Dutch champions Ajax 3-2 in Amsterdam to progress to the finals in Madrid. We look forward to the finals on June 1, where Tottenham will be hoping to win their first Champions League title and Liverpool will be looking for their 6th. And those were the headlines this week. From our studio here in London, I'm Giancarlo Matera and I am 1 with 25.